Blaketham. Not really. Paxton. Sort of. Do I look manly with this V-shaped t-shirt? Or just, I don't know. Anyway, the reflection based upon the ordering system of a point of view is that the non-delegacy is a prelegacy of inmo, because of inmo is based upon data of knowing how that movie works in relation to Buddha and monkey magic. So when he travels to the palm, what is the tree from the willow in relation to knowing how to prosecta the I don't know too much about those movies, but in relation, I used to watch it when I was a kid. It's just a movie though, but giving the explosion of visual, no, explosion of the air, no. I don't know. It's just no belief. No belief? So, based upon Jesus Christ, how come no belief of peace? Is that a paragraph typesetting or X, Y in relation to sans serif? In relation to sans serif, the flacodon of XY is the dollar of knowing how to XY, the ascenton or something in relation to typesetting. JJ Blue and Twiggy in relation to typesetting. But in relation to typesetting by Judith, my altar was there, the original Buddha was there, statue, and I couldn't pronounce calligraphy, and you said calligraphy. Now I can. So, in typesetting, what is the Voltron of his own watts in relation to laser ears? Because in relation to laser ears, the PPOE is a DSL in relation to DSL, but later on I will separate into the DPG in relation to the DSL, because the DPG in relation to the DSL is PPOE in relation to Pontang or what? I do some research later in relation to PPOE. But Bill Gates, in relation to PPOE, have we been there in relation to internode.n.net? Propriety of flat 583 /895 street, unit 10, cubic 3, matrix 1, extra, sand. Mooncake. Democracy. Whoops. Democracy. Laka. No, this one's there. Okay. Laka. Devotion. Mother Mary. What is devotion in relation to PPOE, in relation to IIS, and browser in relation to John Cage by the beautiful music? I aimed, it didn't work. Laser eye, Cyclops. Since I aimed, it didn't work. What Vidala is the melon to eat well, share well, to Newton, the stomach lines based upon acid, and Bila, to roll, crown, methon, Padalaton, Disandong Balang, visual arts. But based upon Dr. Lee Sandra, visual impairment or visual arts is based upon what? Independent compensation or comparison. But in the development of those things to help students to understand the biolob and also the brain injury from human resources, then they have to planta, yes, the declaration of. So in this way, the mercanton of visual art is based upon implay, because based upon implay, we need to work out the laser eye of vision PO3, because vision PO3 is the Kakashon of Pimile by its own Tatara Koto. So in that way, Tatara Koto is an delio of satellite. But the beacon has no indication to PPOI because it has not been connected in relation to Happy Buddha. But in that time, when it was something, it's the tuhu of his own torso. The engineer, the torso, is the lakanam of Toko. So within this way and within this time, the visual impairment is based upon the lekado of sustained stability and to transit the blocker. Within that matter of time, when it ikoto, the mongosanton, the lokoto of law is the tishishu. Within the manifestation of law, the prototoson of law is an ikasa of apele, apala, and impur. And in that way, the butter of the crater by the fish ant is a touchstone of Tor. And in that way, Tor, how does the engineer metatete the cylinder into barrel? Still thinking, Dr. Zena. So in this way, in that time, still thinking is a is a cotton of Venetian blind. But based upon Venetian blind, based upon the blind lady, how can we conjunction its own jurisdiction to know that accidentally it impair our eye, but we were not born like that. So in that time, when the stationery can be written in relation to report news, then the Buddha journal will be leher into the palm of willow. But the palm of willow, based upon the spirit energy, the goddess can echo its own. I don't know much of those things because I'm not god or goddess. I'm just telling you a story. So in that time, for the movie maker, how can we compare the borderline of this and in timber? So in that way, the conversion of our own imperial based upon cubic is sans serif, because the textiling of sans serif based upon ascendant paragraph, the Jurfang is typa to set Thompson ring the ribbon. But within the ribbon, how does Borg likes my old business card, but it was too much details. So in that way, the visual graphics is based upon Ible of willow. But the simple things to do is based upon the simple things to atom of symbol. Makatsatos Nato. Thank you for the meeting. So, based upon the symbol of first word is, but it's a basic, right? But based upon the movie Python, can't pronounce it, it's really high tech and I don't like it. Because there's so much details in relation to high tech, but that alien creator created for freedom to enjoy whatever atom is. But in that way, once it atom a business card to a science laboratory, is that the death of the bird. How can Hitler know that we are standing in Hercules? So when we do that for woodcraft Hercules, how does the ribs know that is Atta? But based upon visual arts, how can funny face Iki that not thinking average? But in relation to average, Atta is just little or something in relation to plots of a plan. And in relation to plots of the plan, still see. So woodcraft based upon Hercules. The dichotom of demonstration is Expo by Andrew Straw in relation to trick. But the trick of a quiz based upon tips is just Hercules of hints. But in that way, what kind of colon based upon the vocabulary is a abbreviation of ascendant Celson laser eye Z Y mark Y sans serif. But in that sans serif, is that Reaper? Don't know. I used to learn at RMIT based upon graphic arts. He taught me how to do those things, typesetting or whatever you call it, in relation to X, Y, ascendant. Because the typer is just a typography of Judov to know that sans serif, is it Mac IP address or just PC IIS version 6. So in that way, when we believe that without storing the memon, then we don't believe what we drawn in relation to trust. Because in relation to trust, the belief of trust is that the ascendant of Y index is just a sans serif of Aaron. But Aaron, based upon sans serif, the follicon shows photosist. So, the pole of Buddha in relation to the temple is sure. Don't know how that works, Aaron, in relation to what I have prescribed in liberation of declaration. But the school sheet based upon blunder is that I'm talking to click. Is it? Empty mouse? But when I'm talking to clip empty mouse, what concentration is jail in the convents of British back in the old days? But song, when the mole crawls through the death hole of Mona Lisa, does it look for spare bone by dottY, which is triple T 564 IP. So in that way, the typesetter by sans serif is identification of law, and in that way, when it identifies law in relation to Wotton, the typesetter is San. But in that way, if it's San, how does God know the sand of Gary's mother treasure box? But the river of the sand is joy of being created. So the insult of Mimimi states that to concentration. So Dr. Zeno, based upon to concentration, writing to assess my brain injury, based upon development of default marriage, or what do you say? I've forgotten about gay marriage. Anyway, so in that way, the tekalala of the plans by the ascendant sans serif is based upon Reaper and Wotton, but the law is steptaton of Bu. No. You. No. So funk. That's all I can do for PPOE. But the visual arts is based upon our own. See? Krypton. No. Dark. Krypton. Of knowing dice. In that way, the gambler, based upon roulette, will conform the sans serif by the mall. So within the mall, we think too much to feel Hercules, to understand its legendary, and in that time, crafting the piece of wood is, may you have in peace of love to know that I will. Sorry, I smoke a lot, get a lot of phlegm. So that's why I'm not a singer, but anyway. Okay. Koala. You are real because being to the zoo by anaconda is just an animal of a koala and the platypus and the crocodile and the reptile. But when you do some in relation to impair by ascendant topper, then Wotton will sensen the blue. But your trust of your own visual is nowhere of Jesus Christ, because it's created, and in that way, where is the belief of Zimbabwe? Because the Hercules cannot craft Hebrew from. Did you impair? See? Did you impair is based upon Zonky Bonky Tongsi Songkong, because the abbreviation for vocabulary is not plural in relation to Collins Dictionary, But in Collins' dictionary, the légale of book novel is novel of John Tutoto arc. I don't know him very well. I just call him arc. So in that way, in relation to arc, does he notice Outlander? Is that his okay. So in that way, the Villicaton of Rolex in relation to Reeves, the web print is just a novel. But in that way, when you write a story script for book publisher, do you associate with each other to write a good novel before you print in your own printer and go to the publisher and typeset the book cover and bottom the entire book for Papakon? Eve. Will do. So, in that way, I end up with a scratch mark. But in that way, in the book, when we write, does it express our collaboration to novel, the scripture of